Hello, my name is Ronald Brand. I am the Director of the Center for International Legal Education at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, where I'm also a professor of law. I want to welcome you to the 10th Annual Middle East Vis Pre-Moot. I had hoped to be doing this in person in Bahrain, but as you all know, the coronavirus has changed many things this year. And included in that group of things is the Vis Moot itself and the Middle East Pre-Moot. We think that we have a great week for you and that we've provided an alternative that will still allow a great deal of the educational value of the Pre-Moot to be obtained. I want to begin by thanking our main sponsors, the Commercial Law Development Program at the U.S. Department of Commerce, and the Bahrain Chamber for Dispute Resolution. I also want to give special thanks to the Royal University for Women in Bahrain, where we were prepared to hold the Pre-Moot this year. They have done an exceptional job of being hosts for the Pre-Moot, and we're ready to do that again this year. But I welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh, where we will be carrying out the technical and administrative duties for this Pre-Moot. The University of Pittsburgh has been around since 1787, so it has survived many things. It will survive the coronavirus, and we hope that not only will you be with us this week virtually, but you'll join us sometime in the future, perhaps as an LLM student at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. As you know, this is the year for the 27th Vis Moot. It is also the year for the 10th Middle East Vis Pre-Moot. I want to provide a little bit of history first to the Middle East Pre-Moot. This process began in 2006 and 2007 when I accompanied lawyers from the Commercial Law Development Program in Washington, D.C. To countries in the Middle East where we were training lawyers, judges, professors. When we did those trainings, it struck me that we were working with a group of people who were well into their careers and well settled in the way they were going to do things for the rest of their life. That's when I suggested to CLDP that real change and real assistance could best be accomplished by reaching students and reaching law schools. So that process began with the first Middle East Vis team to the Vis Moot in 2008, and that was at the University of Bahrain. Each year we would train one more team to come. And when we had critical mass, 4 teams, we had the first Middle East Pre-Moot. It was scheduled for Bahrain in 2011. As you well know, 2011 was a busy year in the Middle East. We weren't able to get to Bahrain, so we held the Pre-Moot right before the Vis competition in Vienna. So we are not in our first effort to reschedule and adapt. We've proved with CLDP and BCDR and our other partners that we're able to do that with the Middle East Pre-Moot. I want to say something about the Vis Moot in particular. It is, I believe, the single best pedagogical platform for legal education in the world. There are other moots in the world that are international, but none of them have rules that were founded not for the purpose of competition, but for the purpose of education. Eric Bergston, who is really the father of the Vis Moot, made certain that the rules would not get in the way of education. And that's why we're able to have pre-moots for the Vis Moot, something that's not possible for some of the other major international moot competitions. It provides benefits to students, it provides benefits to law schools, it provides benefits to countries. And it creates a cadre of lawyers that will be in most countries of the world and have had a common experience. That ties the world together. It's an incredibly positive process that I think has a huge impact on the development of rule of law generally throughout the world. So I welcome you to this process. If you are a student, I welcome you to the wonderful experience it provides and how it makes you a better lawyer. If you are an arbitrator, I welcome you in particular and thank you for taking the time to be a part of this process and to help develop the next generation of lawyers that really will change the world in a positive way. I want to say something that I normally say at the Middle East pre-moot at the final banquet, at the end of the process. But since we won't have that opportunity this year, I'm bringing it forward to my introductory comments. When we planned the first Middle East pre-moot to be held in 2011, Albert Kritzer at Pace University Law School talked to me about it, and he knew that at that time at least, every student was using the database that had been created there, that he had created on the UN Sales Convention, the CISG. That was the primary source, the primary research tool at the time. There are many more now, but it's still an important tool, and I'm sure that many of you, the students, have used it and found it to be helpful. But at that time, Al Kritzer was in the process of trying to create an Arab language database that would mirror the Pace Law School database and be available in the Arabic language for use throughout the Middle East and throughout the world. As a result of that, two things happened. One was that he was invited to come to Egypt, where there was going to be the meeting of the Arab Society of Comparative Law. They were going to award him an honor for that year. There's a special award and special recognition for his work in creating the original CISG database and in preparing to create an Arabic language CISG database. At the same time, when he heard we were going to have a Middle East pre-moot, he said, look, I want to give you the trophy that can be given to the winning team. It will be a traveling trophy that each year is then brought back and handed to the team that wins the competition. And he created that trophy. It's a beautiful Steuben-glass bridge on a black base. Each year that trophy is given to the winning team of the Middle East pre-moot to hold until the pre-moot the following year. Now, Al Kritzer grew up as a young Jewish boy in Brooklyn, New York. He became general counsel for General Electric. He became he became a professor at Pace University Law School when he finished his time in practice, and he worked tirelessly to help all of us around the world understand and be able to do research with the UN Sales Convention. He saw it as a tool to bring the world together. So this young Jewish boy from Brooklyn, after growing up then, created the trophy for the Middle East pre-moot. On the base of that trophy, he requested that there be inscribed in Arabic a verse from the Quran. That verse, roughly translated, is, God made of us many tribes so that we might work together. That's what we're doing in the Middle East pre-moot. That's what you are all doing in the VIS, International Commercial Arbitration moot. Unfortunately, Al Kritzer was not able to be with us at that first Middle East pre-moot. It would have been wonderful to have him give the trophy to the first winning team. The reason he wasn't there was because when he was in Egypt to receive the award from the Arab Society of Comparative Law, he brought his family and they took a trip on the Nile. He became ill on that trip. He went to the hospital and he died there in Egypt. So not only did he prepare this trophy especially for a team from the Middle East, but that's where he ended the process of his life, working to bring lawyers closer together. As we present the trophy later this week, we will honor Al Kritzer in doing so and his vision for using international commercial law and arbitration to bring the world closer together. It's a process that brings people together. It's a process that promotes rule of law. It's a process that educates, that trains, that makes lawyers better. It makes them better in terms of research, in terms of writing, in terms of oral communication skills, but it makes them better at simply connecting with the world. I'm sorry that we won't have that process carried out in person, but I hope our efforts to do it virtually through the Middle East pre-moot, now the EVIS online, will fill in a way that achieves many of the goals that would have otherwise be achieved. So I look forward to seeing you virtually this week, to welcoming you through electronic communication to our headquarters for the Middle East pre-moot at the University of Pittsburgh. I look forward to the time when we might be able to meet face-to-face, perhaps next year at the VIS-moot. And I look forward to welcoming some of you as LLM students at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. To the arbitrators, thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of this process. To the students, my best wishes for the competition, for your arguments as they come this week, and for your arguments in the moot, which will also be held online rather than in Vienna. Again, I look forward to seeing you in many ways this week, throughout the year, and in the years to come. Thank you for joining us.